One day, Gordon, the big express engine on the island of Sodor, was very grumpy. He had been awoken early to take Henry's freight train while he was away. Plus, he already had a freight train, so he'd be pulling an extra long cargo, which Gordon was not happy about. Why do I always have to pull things when the other engines are away? Gordon puffs sadly. I'm far too important. Oh, measly freight cars, he remarked as he pulled in beside Percy, who's helping Edward on the yacht. Gordon, no one else can pull these trains. Why don't you do a triple header? 'Cause we have you. You should stop complaining for once. Suddenly, Edward bumped a car from beside Gordon. Ouch, ouch! The car screamed. Be quiet, Edward said as he was signaling a switch to the switch, and the car was diverted onto exciting. Or hit the buffer down, and Edward returned to possession. Suddenly, Edward bumped a car from beside Gordon. Ouch, ouch! The car screamed. Be quiet, Edward said as he was signaling a switch to the switch, and the car was diverted onto exciting. Or hit the buffer down, and Edward he returned into his position beside Gordon. Edward pushed the van to Gordon. And Percy pushed the tank wagon. One by one, the trucks were pushed into position. Oh dear, this feels heavy, said Gordon. And he was right. Had the longest train he had ever pulled. Was an enormous 250 cars. Gordon knew this was going to be difficult, and so did the trucks, who laughed in glee. Look at Gordon. He has to pull. Or thinks he's strong like a bull. Once he's at the hill, push him. And then he'll crash. Biff and bash. And we'll all laugh, the truck sang annoyingly from the sidings and from the long line that Gordon had amassed. This did not help Gordon's attitude. It's always me, said Gordon crossly. I have to pull this huge freight train, and Edward and Percy get are small shunting and delivery jobs. All across the island, Gordon saw engines with small freight and passenger trains and envied them greatly. Like Jane, whose paint was recently busted out a little bit from an incident. But surprisingly was in a good mood for how tarnished his paintwork was. Normally, these small scratches, all those small, caused James a great deal of grief. James was carrying a freight train, which surprised Gordon because he was very happy. And behind James was Duck helping out. Gordon wished he would have had some help. Eventually, Percy came along with his small mail train. Even though Percy was carrying the most troublesome van and wagons of the mail train today, he seemed very happy. Chuff, 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 chuff. You can chuff and puff, but won't push you off the rails. I bet you're a thought as a group of snails. Percy was being mocked endlessly by the silly mail vans, but he seemed very happy. This made Gordon very envious. As Gordon is this long line of freight trucks approached Percy at almost to that foot. Well, elsewhere. Gordon's destination. The trucks began to giggle. Hee. They laughed obnoxiously. They don't know about our plan. And Percy stopped where a large line of flatbeds right in front. As Percy stopped suddenly, the trucks became free. Hurrah! Hurrah! We've broken away! The silly trucks giggled. Puffing along, he realized that Percy's trucks were speeding for him. Oh, help! He cried out. The trucks giggled, knowing their plan was about to come to fruition. We've tricked them, they laughed. Go on, biff 'em, bash 'em, crash 'em. And then the truck slammed into Gordon at high speed. The silly trucks giggled as Gordon's cars went flying, all toppling over in the domino effect. Till eventually, only 2 cars remained on the rail, and one was partially derailed. The trucks were quite amused with their actions and giggled. Gordon, silly big Gordon, we've tricked him, hooray! And Gordon was fed up with these trucks. I'll get you back, he shouted angrily. And the trucks just giggled. Gordon's mad. He's mad. Silly old Gordon, so sad. We bumped him and now he's sad. Sad Gordon. He is so sad. Now we've bumped him, now he's mad. The truck sang, still a bit dazed from the huge bump. And Percy just stood there until he realized that his trucks had ran away. Came rushing to the scene, bumping your head. Toppling. Don't worry, I'll get the breakdown tray. Percy. Race off.